Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's doing good this Tuesday morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys, on Stretford Post. Thank you so much, guys. Absolutely well appreciated. Thank you, everyone, guys. Thank you. First of all, I want to say, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please, kindly don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. If you guys can do that for me, absolutely fantastic. Firstly, I want to send my condolences to all those affected yesterday in Liverpool. Of course, a terrible incident happened there with a car. And also, I want to say I actually pity those people who have been retweeting the video. I don't think you should be retweeting videos and stuff like that. You know, and I think that we should have a little bit of morals in regards to things like that. But my prayers and thoughts go out to all those people affected. And I wish everyone a speedy recovery. And I hope nothing is serious, of course, guys, which is an awful thing, of course, guys. So that, before I start, I wanted to say that for us up. Now, let's get into the news, guys. Let's get into the news. Manchester United, I was told yesterday by a really weird fella named Earthan that Man United are not interested in Mbeumo. Man United are not interested in Mbeumo. Now, look, Man United over the last 24 hours looks like we're pretty interested in Mbeumo. Whether we get Mbeumo or not, depends, right? It depends, obviously. I like the player. I can imagine the player at Manchester United. Imagine having Cunha and Mbeumo. Cunha and Mbeumo in those number 10 positions. What an upgrade. My only concern is this, right? My only concern is Bruno Fernandes in that number 8 position. I don't think Bruno can play in that number 8 position. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think Bruno can play in that number 8 position. I'm sorry, guys. I just feel like, we don't have the defenders to compensate for his lack of defensive awareness. Bruno's 31. I don't think he can suddenly become a CDM. He hasn't got the IQ like Ryan Giggs had, for example, when Ryan Giggs obviously changed his position from a left winger to a central midfielder in his latter years, of course. Remember that. But Mbeumo could be a Manchester United player. I mean, we are in talks with Mbeumo. Very, very interesting developments going on there. This story has wheels. It does have wheels. It does have wheels, of course. So very, very interesting if Man United managed to get Cunha and Mbeumo over the line. Would that be enough? No, we still need more. Now we're going to be looking at a striker. Look, you know what? We deal with a lot of snobbery in England. There's a lot of snobbery in England around players that, you think, we plays for Brentford, we plays for Southampton, we plays for Wolves. There's a lot of snobbery going on. Do you know what I mean? And not least in the case of Liam Delap. Now, I know from experience that many players assigned from lower clubs have gone on to be superstars. Look at Liverpool, example. Mane went from Southampton, Robinson from Hull, and things like that. Players like Henderson from Sunderland. And when you look at Man United, you look at Man United's history as well. Like, you look at some players that came from Man United through the histories, like for example, Dennis Irwin. And I think he came from, where did he come from? Oldham. And then you got the likes of, Roy Keane from Sunderland, Pallister from Middlesbrough. You got these type of players. Solskjaer, where did he come from? Molde, Schmeichel, Brøndby. And you look at that and you look at like the snobbery that goes on, because people are infatuated with one like no blinkered, like it's just straight on. I want that player. We should get that player. If we don't get that player's shit. Basically, that's what it is in a nutshell. Now, I've been hearing this last 24 hours that Cunha's crap, Mbeumo's crap, Delap is crap. They're all crap. Apparently, they're all rubbish. Apparently, you know what I mean? I mean, crazy as it may sound, isn't it? It is. Let's get through some of your messages. Big up, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. I hope you're good. And the legend, Stephanie. What's going on, Steph? Hope you're doing good, my friend. United need to attack and bite from ex-Wolf and looking like it's a sting that from a B. Big up, Stephanie. Love your comments, man. Big up. Debbie says, big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Bruno, without a shadow of doubt, is a brilliant player, but really complicated to see where he's going to play. The biggest concern I have about it, Kenny, is that number 8 position. I really don't think it's a number 8, Kenny. I'll be honest with you. I really don't think it's number 8. And the biggest worry for me is that Ruben Amorim is going to fit him into the number 8 position, and that is the crazy thing. Ciao, good morning. Remember, whoever United are signing for, these are all PR from the Glazers at Ineos. Don't be fooled by them. I don't think anyone is fooled by them, but proof is in the pudding, Ciao. If they sign players, that's what we want, Man United to improve. So, you know what? We know that. Ciao, you're in America. If you have a problem with the Glazers, there's a plane. You can go to Florida and you can deal with it, because we deal with it in England. I don't know what you want to do. You know what I mean? What should we just sign no players then, because it's all PR? What do we do, Ciao? Do we just sign no players? Is that what we do? Brentford's a good player. He can play a 10 primarily. He can play the right wing. But absolutely, Kenny, he's a fantastic player. And 20 goals for Brentford. That's no mean feat. 20 goals for Brentford. Unbelievable. Guys, that's more than our whole front line, for goodness sake, you know. Good morning, Randy. How you doing, my friend? Are we doing well? Good to see you. Bruno Fernandes starting his career as a centre-back before being converted into an attacking midfielder at Boa Vista. And there's a reason for that, IMCF. There's a reason for that. He probably was not a good defender. User. Ussa. Man U doesn't have that kind of money. What kind of money, mate? Well, we just signed Cunha. Man United do have that kind of money, mate. Don't be fooled. We should be definitely still Edison need a player who can run these days, win the ball and physical back supports. But I would love Edison, but obviously Edison is 25 years old and wants Champions League football. I think if we signed Mbeumo, if we signed Cunha, and we signed Edison, guys, already that would be looking like a really, really deadly, team next season. At the moment, I'm not looking at it at the moment and thinking that we're going to do anything next season. But if we sign these players that we're linked with, you know what I mean? As people say, it's PR. The only thing we can have, guys, is that it is Ineos to prove us wrong. Ineos to go out there and spend the money. That is what it is. We need Man United to get back to the top. You want to concentrate on business, we can go through business all day long. I'm all for that. But you know what? Empty words on this YouTube isn't going to do anything about the Glazers and Ineos at the end of the day. My biggest bone with the American contingent of the fans, basically is that they talk a lot, but you know what? They live in America and none of them are protesting outside Florida Glazers' house at the end of the day. So I would say that. Randy, good morning. Big up everyone, of course. In the 70s, under Tommy Doherty, we had Stuart Pearson from Hull, Steve Coppell from Tranmere, Gordon Rudd from Millwall. They all turned out understood English football. Stephanie, spot on. At the end of the day, look, I'm not going to have this snobbery where I think Liam Delap is going to be crap, because you know what? At the end of the day, we don't know how good Liam Delap is going to be, right? All we can do is say, like, you know what? He's plays for Ipswich. He's got 12 goals for Ipswich. It's no mean feat. No assists either. You know what I mean? No creativity either. Like, he scored 12 goals. So this snobbery, look, it's not my first choice. I don't want Delap, number one. I didn't want him, but I'm not one of those people to put my nose up at things and say that, you know what, he's Delap. Who's Liam Delap? You know what I mean? Who's Mbeumo? Who's Cunha? Who are they? They play for Wolves, Brentford and Ipswich. Who are they? I'm not that type of person. Do you know what I mean? So I understand that football can surprise you. I was surprised by Michael Carrick when he signed Steph. Before we signed Michael Carrick, I was like, Michael Carrick? I was like that. I was like, he's all right. He's not that. I was like that. Do you know what I mean? Even with Dwight York, when we signed Dwight York, I was like, Dwight York? Why don't we get Del Piero? Why don't we get Baggio? Why don't we get Zidane? Why do we have to get bloody Dwight York? And that's the way it was like. You know what I mean? But you learn and you realize that sometimes players they fit into a certain system. At the end of the day, you would prefer Cherky or Mbeumo. Also, thoughts on United keeper? I like Joe Garcia. Joe Garcia single-handedly kept Espanyol in the La Liga. Basically saved him. I like him. I absolutely do, my friend. I do. Hello, Randy. Big up, everyone. Absolutely. Big up, Dabisis. Cherky, I heard his attitude like issues like Garnacho up to Ruben. At the end of the day, it depends what type of attitude Dabisis, because at the end of the day, we need that. We need that. The only problem is if you've got an ego. Your ego is bigger than the team, and that resonates onto the pitch. For example, if Garnacho doesn't pass to his teammates, you know what I mean? And things like that. That's the sort of attitude I don't like. Stat padding and stuff like that. So that is one thing. But I don't mind the sort of thing about Cherky. I don't mind him grabbing his cojones. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I think we need a bit of naughty. I think we need a bit of, no, we had it with Cantona. We had it with Rooney. We had it with Keane. We even had it with Steve Bruce and Peter Schmeichel and all these players, even to an extent, Gary Neville and Paul Scholes. We had that little bit of, nasty, shameless nastiness. We had that. But nowadays, we don't have it, Big up Donovan. Ryan Jack would love at Man United. I would as well. He's my first choice, Kevin. I've been saying it for a while now. He's my first choice. But I wouldn't turn my nose up at Mbeumo because I think Mbeumo is a very good player. If we signed Mbeumo, I wouldn't just go, no. Some people like this one, I don't want Mbeumo. So because it's not their favorite player. And that's what I don't like. That's childish at the end of the day. And this is what I've been saying yesterday. It's childish just because you want a player and you don't get a player, so you hate that player and you criticize that player. And that's what I would say. Roy Keane was signed from Forest. Yes, as said, I did say that, my friend. Good morning, Sal. Do you think Bruno Fernandes will work in the number 6 position? No, Ephraim, I don't. I love players with attitude. Absolutely. Me too, mate. You need it. I think it will hurt buying Cherki as he's cheaper. If it doesn't work, we can sell him later. Yeah, that's true. That's true as well. He's only 21 too. That's true as well. So is it true news? Chelsea is leading true news. Is it true? Chelsea is leading true news. Chelsea is leading what? For what? I think Bruno's leaving. I don't think so. We need more red mist players. It shows they care about winning, about not winning. We need more red mist players. It shows they care about. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a bit of nastiness about a player, And I'm not talking about an ego or I'm bigger than the team and stuff like that. I'm talking about like that Cantona sort of figure, the inspiring kind of player at Man United. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that sort of player. You know what I mean? And I think Man United have missed that over the last few years. I think we've been very nice. We've been too nice. Also, the goalkeeper. I always think you have to be an absolute nutter to be a goalkeeper. You have to be an absolute madman to be a goalkeeper because I've always believed that goalkeepers, a bit like Martinez is for Aston Villa, a nutter. Absolute hothead. And I think that's what we need. And Schmeichel had that, of course, when he used to grab up even his own players. He used to grab up even his own players. I think we need that. We need that all over the pitch because at the moment we're a bit like, it's nice. We're too nice as a football team. We're too nice at Old Trafford. We're too nice. Overall. Hi, Sal. Strange no one is in for Jonathan David. There is obviously a reason for that, isn't there? There's a reason for that. Why is no one in for Jonathan David? What's going on there? Oladeli, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, brother Sal. Good morning, brother Oladeli. Hope you're doing well. Blessing. Good to see you again. It really has been up and down season for us. Absolutely. Well, the good news is it has come and gone. It's time to press the real reset button for good. Blessing. You are a blessing this morning. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope everything is good for you. Good to see you, mate. So is it true news Chelsea leading the race for the lap? I heard Chelsea are going after Ekitike, but if they get Ekitike, they're going to get Delat. No, I don't think they're leading the race. I think they're neck and neck with Man United at the moment. It depends who makes their move. The problem is this. Would Liam Delat be more appealed by Champions League football? That's the thing. Would he be more enticed by Champions League football? Goals for George. Cherki's a brilliant player, but I have fears he may end up as Sancho with flashes out inconsistent. But his age and price is tempting. We could flip-flop flops. Moise Keane? No, thank you. Moise Keane flopped in the Premier League once. Don't want him to flop in the Premier League again. Goals for George. Thank you so much. No, thank you. No Moise Keane. Not really setting the world alight where he is. Chelsea leads everything in transfer. He's done the right where, I think he's at the club that he deserves to be at the moment, and he's done all right, to be honest with you. But I would like him as a backup striker. That wouldn't be bad, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't want him as our first team striker. Absolutely not. The best is Chelsea leaves everything in the transfer. You check under your bed in the middle of the night, and Chelsea will be there. Chelsea, you snooze, you lose with Chelsea. Chelsea are hovering around. They're like hiding behind cars, looking at us, what we're doing, like. They're looking at, they're after that. Oh, they're after. And especially they look at Man United. They're always looking at Man United, 36.99. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Let's get to 50 by the end of the show, guys. Really, really important that we keep the lights going up. So, guys, please, 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 could you kindly smash a like for me, because it is so important to the development of the channel, guys. So if you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, you legends. Thank you. David to Napoli, I think. Could be. Let's wait and see. Lisa and David are mostly going to Napoli. Prego. Anana overstayed his welcome. He must leave. Randy, I think he should go. I don't think he's good enough. So I'm sorry for whatever happened in Liverpool. Yeah, big not commiserations, but my prayers and thoughts go out to Liverpool in regards to the tragic events that happened yesterday. Which is tragic for me is that I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter retweeting, sharing the video. You can see it on their pages who they are. They're only interested in clicks and likes, and that's what it is at the end of the day. You know, I've been in this game a very long time in regards to social media, and I know I can separate the people who are only interested in clicks and likes, regardless of what their context is, regardless if it is a tragic event like yesterday, and the ones who actually support Man United, you know. At the end of the day, there are fakes out there, and you've got to be careful of those fakes. You know what I mean? I stopped going on their channels. You know which channels they are. I stopped going on their channels because they are fakes. You know, and I realized that, because I'm not one of those people who act as, you know. I can't do that because I'm too passionate about Man United. People know on this channel how passionate I am about Man United, how I go in when it's Man United, you know, and how I don't care. I just blow my top sometimes, you know. But that's just me, because I love the football club, you know. Sitting there with a Man United cap on in Thailand or wherever you are, you know, pretending that you're a big journalist agent is not what I would call a United fan for me. And that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? And I've seen a lot of these people around, and you got to be wary of these people with their bots and things like that as well, you know. So you got to be wary of these people. And, you know, what I would say is that my heartfelt prayers go out to the people of Liverpool. Away from football, we are rivals. We are rivals in football, but rivalry is all about football. That is what rivalry is. Rivalry is what makes football so great. But what we have is a football community. Regardless of the Liverpool, Man United, we are a football community. And every single person who celebrated their league title win deserves to celebrate it, because they won the league. They won the league, and they deserve to celebrate their league without the risk of losing their life, you know. There's obviously a lot of people out there who want to spread speculation as to who did this and why. But obviously the news is out there, and we let the police deal with that at the end of the day. We don't speculate. All we can do on a human level is say that, you know what, we need to think of those people first and think about, hopefully they get a speedy recovery and stuff like that. Characters have been lacking for years. Just look at Lindelof and Shaw, not physically or mentally strong enough. I agree, mate. I agree. Oyedele. I'm seriously not that convinced about with Delap leading our front line next season. We need a proven striker. Oh, Deli, I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. Leading the line is different from being in the squad. I don't mind signing Liam Delap if we sign an Osman or we sign a Gutierrez or someone like that. I don't mind that. But putting the pressure on a player like Liam Delap to be the first team player at Man United, it's going to destroy him. Because if he goes 2-3 games without a goal, you know, people are going to turn against him. Look at Dorgu. Look at Dorgu, right? People were turning on Dorgu, Patrick Dorgu, after 1 month. They were turning on Patrick Dorgu. You know? Hold on, guys. Thank you so much, Ephraim, legend. Delat has no right to demand Champions League football. He was part of the relegated team. Yeah, I mean, apparently he wants to relegate. I mean, at the end of the day, look, Randy, if he was going to choose between Man United and Chelsea, he's not a Man United fan. So at the end of the day, what he's going to look at is Champions League football, isn't it? You know, and that's basically it. He hasn't said, I'm not going to sign for you if you don't get Champions League football. Basically what it is that he's going to choose between Chelsea and Man United. And if he chooses which one he's going to go to, he's going to go to the one with Champions League football. My opinion is he will be better off coming to Man United because I think we'll develop him better. I really do. I think under Ruben Amorim, what Ruben Amorim did for Gutierrez, I think it would develop him better. Absolutely. Nasty stuff happened during Liverpool bus parade. Yes, absolutely. So if the lap signings do not work, we have held accountable Jason Wilcott. Yeah, their head's on the line at the end of the day. Jason Wilcott's head is on the line, and that is what it is. I'm not entirely convinced about Liam Delap leading our front line next season. I think I read that one. Big up. Well, I may be wrong. I can be proven wrong. I like that. I like that comment, Aladeli, because at the end of the day, what we want, right, is we want to be proven wrong. If I was wrong 1,000 times out of 1,000, and it meant Man United winning the league, I would take that. I'm not about me. I'm about Man United at the end of the day. That's all I care about. Dorgo will certainly improve next season. He will do. He was one of our best players last couple of games. Sell Garnacho and get Rafael Leao. It will cost a fortune, Rafael Leao. I like Rafael Leao, though, Mitoma. 54 likes. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Great, guys. Thank you. 54. Come on, let's get up to 60, guys. Can we do that? Up to Delap if he wants to join United. Yeah, at the end of the day, if they don't want to join Man United, then the door is there, isn't it? That is basically what it is. If you don't want to, you want to join us? No. Goodbye. And that's what Man United should be like. And move on to the next. That's how we should be like, definitely. But I'm really excited if we get in Buemo and we got Cunha. You know, I'm really excited about that. You know, it does improve, upgrade our attacking options tenfold, you know. I don't mind Delap, but we need another striker as well. I agree with Darren there. I'm on the Darren camp. You know, I'm on the Darren one. I think we need another striker. We need an experienced striker alongside Liam Delap, in my opinion. Absolutely. Liam Delap in Newcastle yesterday. Nice place to party, by the way. Nice city. If you want to go out in Newcastle, it's a good place to go. Maybe he's there for that. Big up Jamie Whitehouse. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Our front three are 19th in the league and in terms of goal scoring. So any other Premier League striker would be an improvement. True. But then again, you've got to look at it, Gladiator, that Man United is a cesspit of negativity. Man United's shirt is very heavy as opposed to other teams in the Premier League. If you go to Man United, the pressure is too much for a lot of players. Other teams don't have that pressure. We have that pressure every single week, you know, and that's the difference, you know. So they might come and do just as bad. Victor Osman would be a great signing. Kevin, big up Kevin. I agree. My take on the comment wanting championship, it's not necessary next season, but ultimately, if they get it correct, him 100%, especially if he wants to come to us, absolutely. But at the end of the day, Stephanie, we got to look at, like, if he wants to go to Chelsea, let him go to Chelsea. If he wants to come to Man United, that's what we want. We want players who want to play for Man United. We don't want players who like, I want to play for Chelsea. You know what I mean? I want to play in Chelsea. We want players who want to give 100% for the cause for Manchester United. And if we can get a player like Liam Delap over a player like Gutierrez or Osman, who don't really want to play for Man United, you know, let's think about that, right? If don't really want to play, but just coming for the money, that's different. Do you know what I mean? I'm a much rather a player want to play for Manchester United. You know, that's what I would rather have, of course. Big up, Steph. Deba says, Gutierrez is off. Osman for the wages is a no. Who else? There's lots, mate. There are lots of strikers out there who I wouldn't mind. Isak, I wouldn't mind. I'm not going to get him, of course. Leeson, do you think Musa can make it into the first team next season? I'm looking forward to seeing Musa play, Leeson. Obviously, he scored 6 goals that time, didn't he, for the youth team? So I'm really looking forward to seeing Musa play. Really looking forward to it, to be honest with you. You know, and I hope he can. I mean, he did play. You know. He played with Lee. Did you know he played with Lamine Yamal? Did you know he played with Lamine Yamal? So he might be on that level. You never know. I mean, I know I'm jumping at straws here, but he played with Lamine Yamal, not Liam Yamal. Well, we got our Liam Yamal. It'll be Liam Delap, wouldn't it? They pick up. We will have to buy mentality players, not only good players. I agree with that. Ephraim, spot on. Delap must earn Champions League. Yep. Morning, Sal. Good morning, Shah. Since Chelsea are ahead on the Delap race, do you think we'd offer his agent more money just to join us to give more wages than Chelsea? No. No. The thing is, right, I'm hearing that Chelsea are very interested in Ekitike and players along that line. So I don't think they're going to sign Liam Delap and Ekitike. I don't think they're going to buy both of them. But you know what? Chelsea seem to be hovering around everything what Man United want to do. I mean, and Man United seem to be in competition with Chelsea for some weird reason, you know, when we should just use our own initiative and our own brain. You know, there are strikers around the world, right? You don't need me to tell you that Man United could sign who are very good strikers. You know, you can go to South America and find an absolute animal, you know, I mean, for cheap. You know, you just need to find them. You know, we just don't seem to want to. We just seem to look at one direction. We look at that one player and then we fight all summer for that one player, don't we? That's the problem. Blessing, I'm really all in for Mbeumo. To be sincere, I was a day thinking about this excellent player, and boom, the next day, the news broke out that we held talks with Brian. There you go. Guys, people were arguing with me yesterday that Mbeumo is not good enough, and Mbeumo, we're not having talks with Mbeumo. We're not interested in Mbeumo. People think I talk for the sake of talking, you know? Goodness me, you know? Would love to see Musa, Bentato, and Conan first team. Hopefully, we see some of them in the game tomorrow, in the friendly game. Guys, I'll be here for the friendly game tomorrow, so don't forget to join me for that. Guys, don't forget. Yeah, hopefully, we see them tomorrow. We see some of the young players coming in tomorrow, of course. Sir has that connection. Big up, Shah. Morning. Good morning, everyone. Do you think Chelsea will keep Sancho? No, they won't. They're going to give us him back for 4.5 million. We're going to get Sancho back. What can we do? When we done this deal, it is incompetence, because at the end of the day, we should have had this in our head that Sancho might not succeed at Chelsea, so we should have no cancellation clause in that contract. That shows how incompetent we are, isn't it? That we're going to get Sancho back. He's already fallen out with Amarim. We're going to get him back. You know what I mean? Goodness me. Crazy. Having him, Brian and Brahma and Cunha would be a total different shape and strength to our beloved Manchester United. Absolutely. It'd be absolute blessing. My blessing. You're blessing us today, mate. You're blessing us. What I would say about it is it'd be exciting. It will be exciting. It will be exciting. I will be extremely excited. Absolutely. Mbeumo and Cunha have similar stats. 20 goals for Mbeumo, 15 goals for Cunha, 6 assists for Cunha, 15 assists for Mbeumo. Mad. For those teams, guys, for those teams to have those numbers, that is impressive, guys. You've got to say that. Overjohn's video, early likes, please. Push 100. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Big up, Steph. Morning, Steph. Big up, of course. We're going for both because they score way more. I mean, I can't wait, Brendan, I can't wait. You have to be a little bit excited sometimes. If we get those players at Man United, you know, it's going to be a different level, of course. Rashford will be back also. But the problem with Rashford, Jamie, is that Cunha will be taking the number 10 shirt. Rashford's number 10, right? So that means Rashford's going. Rashford will be out the door. He'll be out the door. I got a feeling. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días. Sure, how much did we get Cunha on wages? Any news on that? Nothing, no news. We haven't negotiated that yet. We ain't in that position yet. The deal has been agreed. The fee is 62.5 billion on installments on the, 62.8, something like that. Sancho to North Korea. Here we go. Dapper says absolutely. Send in there and don't come back. Send out Academy if he returns. Yeah. 300 grand a week. My God. Sancho will be back. Yeah, he will be back, unfortunately, sadly for us. Smash the likes and subscribe button, people. I knew this will happen, though. I knew that Sancho would be back at Man United. I just had this feeling that he's not going to succeed. He's going to mess around there, have a couple of weeks, you know what I mean? And new player bounce, whatever it is, and then he'll start going back to default settings, you know? Sancho to a T. If Ten Hag doesn't take Onana and Anthony of him, it's criminal. He should be held accountable for that. I agree with that, Gladiator, and he should take those players back where they should be, with Ten Hag in his team. Apparently, there is news about that. Apparently, Onana has been linked with Leverkusen. But let's see what happens. They have got Kova. They got a very good goalkeeper who I admire, of course. We don't want freedom back. Absolutely not. We don't want freedom. Absolutely. I'd rather have George Michael freedom than bloody Sancho freedom. Absolutely. If we get Mbeumo and Cunha, I will be happy for the time by deep. Me too, Ephraim. Big up my friend. We need to create modern day a Cole and York. Cunha, bloody hell. Stephanie, you're bringing it back, my friend. You're bringing it back. It makes it, every time you say Cole and York, this lump comes in my throat. It's like, you know what I mean? I need a moment. I just need a moment because at the end of the day, guys, 98, 99, I just wish this fan base could witness what we witnessed. It was just incredible, and where we are now, as opposed to there, I never would have thought, Kyrie, legend, what's going on, Kyrie, what's going on? This is why scouting is crucial. Also, Amran brought in a few players on loan at Sporting, so maybe we will see some loan players. Kyrie, if it works, it works. There you go. Very good point there about loan players. If it works, it works. There you go, at the end of the day, because we will be getting rid of a lot of players, of course. Brendan, if we get them, we can expect a challenge for the title. I'm saying it. If both signings don't do it, then we should stop talking transfers in the summer of 2006, Brendan. Brendan, you know what I would say is that if it doesn't work, Glazers. There you go. Groovy, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Who are you? Groovy, you're an absolute nutcase, mate. Ten Hag might want his own guy goalkeeper. Please, Onana. Please, mate. Please, absolutely. I'd give Cunha her 500 grand a week. Groovy, you're absolutely groovy again. You've been on the mushrooms again, Groovy. What's going on? Good luck for our former manager turned out to Leverkusen, absolutely. I also wanted him, Buemo. Big up, GK. Big up, hope you're doing well. Ruben will kick Sancho out if he doesn't do bare minimum. We don't want him, man. Freedom fighter, he can go. He's put the club into disrepute with that tweet and stuff. And all those little comments. Do you remember all those little comments that he's been doing all season? All those little comments, all those sly little things that he's been doing all season. Get him out. And yes, my balls are definitely tingling, governor. Mate, I mean, obviously I have that effect on you, mate. Sorry, bruv. So happy Mateus Cunha going to be a baller at Man United. He is definitely, Kevin. Big up, Kevin. One more thing, Sal. Buemo is brilliant. Corner specialist. Yes. And so is Cunha, Kenny. Cunha scored from the corner. You see him score that goal from the corner. And that means I don't think, guys, sorry, but Bruno's a bad corner taker. Bruno cannot take corners. Bruno cannot take corners anymore. He can't take corners. We're unsuccessful at corners with Bruno. We don't score from the corner. 6-month loan. Allow that cry, baby. Deba says, Messi will retire if he plays in the Premier League. He can't play in the Premier League. He can only play for Barcelona, with Iniesta and Xavi and Messi, Iniesta, Xavi and Busquets and all those, man. 1 second, guy. I got delivery, guys. Hello? Okay, I'm coming down. Thank you. I've got to collect a delivery, guys. You keep chatting amongst yourself. I'll be 2 minutes. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you so much for being patient. Randy, I hope Ineos have a good summer like the last one, but have to finish the business early. There you go. Absolutely, man. I hope so, mate. I hope so. Forest have shown us the path that you can move from relegation battle to top four in a single season. Yeah, so did Aston Villa, Gladiator. Aston Villa were in the bottom three, weren't they? Weren't Aston Villa in the bottom three? Then they went up. Absolutely, they can. Guys, I'm telling you now, guys. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some surprises next season. There's going to be surprises next season, guys. Watch this space. Absolutely. Sancho out, Rashford out, Anana out. I agree with that, Shah. Big up, Shah. Message United 6 months. No, thank you, mate. Anyone wants Sancho back? They aren't United fans. I agree with that, Chow. I have to agree with that one. LT, good morning. Big up, LT. What's going on? Having Brennan and Kuno can make me not feel as bad about getting the lap. And if Sancho coming back, I don't think he'll be with us in the summer. One thing I would say, LT, and I don't know what you think about this. I value your opinion, LT, right? I value it very much. But one thing I would say is that no one knew who Gutierrez was when he was playing for Coventry City, did they? If we signed Gutierrez, right, from Coventry City, right, people would be going crazy, wouldn't they? People would be going mad. Oh, we signed Gutierrez from Coventry City as our main striker. You know what I mean? Now imagine Cunha and Embremo playing again up front with a player like Delap. It might work. You know, he's a young player. He's going to learn. He'll get in the England squad. He will develop. You know, it might work. You know, we have to be fair, don't we? At the end of the day, no spamming. Absolutely. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. No Europa League next season. About 3 minutes here. Sancho, Rashford, and Anthony Groovy. You can groove out of here, my friend. Absolutely. My goodness me. Don't say that. Anybody read any good books lately? No, not me. I mean, my missus always reads about. Let me find a book for you. There's lots of good books here. I've got lots of good football books. Lots of good football books. This is the book to read. Alex Ferguson, guys. Read that one. That's what you got to read. Sir Alex. Right, I'm gonna pick out a word in here. Spurs. That's the first word I saw. That's the first word. That's the first word I saw. Spurs. Oh my God. Shah. So John Rackett or Anana, you have Bombrets out. I gave you a Bombrets out. Yeah. I mean, Anana, definitely. He's positioning for the goal. He was ended up in UAE. That's his positioning for the goal. He should be at bloody stadium, and he's in UAE. Sal, do you like Stuttgart midfielder Engel still? I do. I think he's a good player. Not in for him, though, at the moment. Yeah, Groovy, stop it, mate. Groovy, you got to stop it, mate. What did smoke Groovy? Groovy's just madman. Guess the delivery. Guess the delivery. Guys, if you could guess one delivery in my bag, and no, it's not what you think it is, but if you can guess one delivery in my bag, I'll sing you a song. Randy, who are ya? Who are ya? Groovy, stop it, mate. Groovy, it's not funny anymore, bruv. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be an EastEnder. You know, we actually have a personality in East End. I don't think you're from the East End. He's been taken hostage by another Man United streamer. I don't think but yeah, I've obviously got away with him because probably, you know what I mean? He's got slippery subway hands. He probably slipped away from me at the end of the day. Yeah. I hope that Kone gets a chance next year. I hope so. It needs to go on loan, I think. Bruno shouldn't leave until we groom a team of 11 players who can carry the weight of a United shirt. There you are. Subjective, of course. I sent Sal a special package with some white stuff. Goodness me. Morning, Fanactive 8. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I hope you're good. Probably Nuruddin as he needs these new microphones. Nuruddin, well, you know the thing with Nuruddin and these people there, right? They think by you screaming at the camera, you are making a valid point. What I've learned in life, the more you have to raise your voice to make a point, it means your point doesn't have any substance. That's what I've learned in life. So if you're sitting there screaming, spitting everywhere, do you know what I mean? With you need a window wiper for him. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like when he's screaming at the screen, it just shows that you have to scream to get your point across. You know, intelligent people don't need to scream. They can actually calmly put their point across. They calmly say it. Nuruddin obviously is Ruben Amram out now. You know what I mean? I mean, has he learned anything from the past? You know, has he learned anything? He obviously hasn't. You know what I mean? Groovy, let me tell you something about Groovy, right? Groovy's going to get blocked very soon, you know, if he carries on. Groovy will be blocked very soon, guys, and he won't be coming back. Steve-O, what's going on? Big up, Sal, guys. Stephanie, you're working again. She's a workaholic. Big up, Stephanie. Big up, Steve. I come here just to chill. Big up, Brendan. Man gives me homework. Big up, Brendan. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. Definitely. Big up, Kenny. Morning, Sal. Freya, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I think some people need to read the Alex Ferguson book, to be honest with you. Definitely. I actually read a book. I read that book a few years ago. Yeah. Groovy, I'm seriously thinking of putting you on a timeout for 10 minutes to sort yourself out. Sharp, yeah. Groovy, you got to be careful, mate. You got to be careful. Let's get Mbeumo in. Come on, Fred. Let's do that, my friend. Let's do that. Let's do it. Idea, keep Anthony with Cunha and play 3-4-3. I mean, Daniel, I don't know if you've heard, but this is an exclusive for you, right? When Anthony was at Man United, when Ruben Amorim first came for the door, Anthony didn't want to listen to Ruben Amorim. Anthony told Ruben Amorim to F off. So we don't want any of that. And he's admitted, he had an interview yesterday that he can't handle the pressure of Man United. He's already said it. So big up, George. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Kone is going on loan next year. I think so as well. Anthony won't stay, though. It's bad for his mental health. Yeah, he's too weak for Man United. Some people are just too weak. And we got Mateus Cunha in the house. What's going on? Delat, 30 million, take and run. Big up, Mateus. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Nuruddin streams a lot. Can't even tell what he's saying sometimes. Can't even have a proper grown-up conversation. He can't, mate, because he cries. La, 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 la. He's just like that. And you're like, what are you doing, mate? All of them, man. Nuruddin and all these strange Man United fans, you know, like fake fans, you know, like out there as well that pretend they're agents and things like that. And there's so much cesspit of crap out there. It's unbelievable. Thanks, Stephanie. Big up. Gladiator. Ruben is a manager who is trying to implement a style of rather than bend his knee for players. I agree with that. He should. And so he should, Gladiator. And so he should stick by that. Big up, Tyborg, the legend. What's going on, man? I hope you're doing well. I'm at work, but I wish all of you a nice day. Nice day, Tyborg. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. Empty cans make the most noises. Stephanie. Oh, that's a good one. It's true, though. An empty pot makes the most echo, doesn't it? It's true, though. That is true. Yeah, because if you got water, it doesn't echo that much. You probably knock him on the head. It probably echoes quite a lot. You know what I mean? Do not get me wrong. I agree with some of the things Saguna said, but the way he screams, it's like making invalid points. For example, being relegated from the Prem. Stum. He don't understand what that would do for Man United, Kenny. You can have your opinions on everything. This is a democracy. Football is subjective at the end of the day. Turning on Ruben Amorim is wrong, in my opinion. You can see the way they played against Aston Villa that if these players wanted to play, they'll play. You know? And this has been going on for years and years and years, and they're not bright enough to see the familiar pattern here. If this went to the court of law, you know that the players would be found guilty, and so would the ownership, not the manager, you know? But what I would say is that this relegation business, people don't understand what will happen in the scenario of Man United getting relegated. What they will do, what Ineos and the Glazers will do, is that they will sell a bunch of players that we don't want to sell and blame it on relegation. And when we do get relegated, what they're going to do? They're going to strike up some more deals with various, businesses. They're going to have sponsors on the training kits, sponsors on everything, and they're just going to make the money back like that. So the Glazers don't even know what division we're in, to let alone to be talking about relegation. It's a silly argument and a very hypothetical argument. You know, because at the end of the day, that could end Man United. I've seen great teams go down. Nottingham Forest went down. They got 2 European Cups. They went down for about 10 years, you know. We might not come back. And that's the thing, you know. So that is a very dangerous argument. I'm close with teams in League One, you know, and I know how hard it is to get out League One and the Championship and stuff like that. It's a stupid argument, and he's going to scream and shout again and again and again. And, you know, it's clownery at the end of the day. Let Groovy come and vent his whatever. Big up, V33. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. After Cunha bringing Bremo, a centre midfielder in the mould of Edison. I agree. A seasoned striker and a proper goalkeeper. All is I'm asking for. Along with an influx of youth. We are good. Cunha, V33, my friend. Sorry, you're not Cunha, but 333. If we did that, I'd be absolutely delighted, mate. You know, because at the end of the day, you've got everything covered there. Cunha and Mbeumo would be excellent. Edison would be excellent. A new goalkeeper, any goalkeeper, would be excellent. You know what I mean? Yeah, and an influx of youth. The only thing I would ask for, V33, and thank you for the super chat, my friend. The only thing I would ask for is a striker. Out of that, I don't think you mentioned striker. I think I would ask for a striker as well. If it's an experienced striker, that would be excellent. Absolutely. Big up, V33, you legend. Thank you so much for that. Delap is a very good player. If he's developed well, we have a good striker. Fanatic 8, you know what? This is what I'm saying. Because people are looking at Delap and thinking, oh my goodness, it's snobbery. They're looking at Delap and they're thinking, you know what? He plays for Ipswich. You know, he scored 12 goals for Ipswich, you know. And when you look at Gyökeres came from Coventry City, you know, and was developed by Ruben Amorim and became a world-class player. So who's to say that Delap won't become a world-class player? What? Because he's British, he's English. This is what people are like, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. But if we signed Gyökeres whilst he was at Coventry and we said, right, this guy is going to be our main striker, you'll be like, what? Juki who? You know, wouldn't it? Big up. Steve, so I wish the community explained their statements properly. Otherwise, they're just stupid comments. Agreed, mate. Agreed. Getting Bremer and Delap, absolutely. Good shout, buddy. Big up, Stephanie. At the end of the day, but yeah, you know, never be snobby when it comes to players. I'm never going to be snobby. If Liam Delap signed for Man United, no, it's not my first choice. But if Liam Delap signed for Man United, I'm going to support Liam Delap. I'm going to hope he develops into the player. I've seen good things from Liam Delap. I've watched the Liam Delap, and I think he's a good player. Whether he becomes the player that we need is another story, of course. So, you know, but we cannot judge until we know, isn't it? And we just have to put our eggs in a basket and say, well, they believe in him, so let's see. We can't get relegated now. We have 3 new teams to feast on. 18 points there. Absolutely. Dabises. We're going to do well next season. Guys, watch this space. Man United will do well next season. Just watch this space. So I don't think it's snobbery need experience. It is snobbery to turn your nose up at something you don't know, George. We don't know if Liam Delap is going to be a good player. Do we need experience? Yes, we need experience. But if we don't get Osman or Gyökeres, we don't just totally write off Delap. He's 22, 23. You know, he's old enough to know. You know, and that's what I'm talking about. I wouldn't stick my nose up. If we don't get an experienced striker, what can we do? You know, but all we can do is support the new striker that comes in. Some people, like, for example, I saw yesterday, George, some people prefer a certain player. Even like, for example, there are people on this channel who like Trincao, right? And because we're not going to get Trincao, we got Cunha. They're saying Cunha's not good enough. He's overrated. That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. That's snobbery, you know, because you don't want that player because he's not your first choice. You don't like that player, so you're hating on that player. For example, some people hating on Mbeumo. Some people hating on Cunha now, you know, because he's not their first choice. It just shows a lack of, you know, intelligence, you know. That's what I mean, basically, George. Big up, George. If we can do that, I'll be more than happy. Big up, Randy. Ruben, is anything for my fans to sit together that season and judge afterwards? Apparently, we can't do that. Big up, Gladiator. I agree with that, mate. It's true. We should get Osman in the swap deal for Garnacho. Osman has done decent in Napoli and Galatasaray. He has 35 goals this season, mate. Nothing to be sniffed at. Some people in the industry just don't have the IQ to understand the problems around the club, like job cuts, cutting the costs, etc. I mean, I don't agree with the job cuts and cutting costs. I think that's a manipulation tactic from Ineos, right? I don't think they understand that they're doing this to manipulate the masses, right? Just act like we're broke. But what I would say is that blaming the manager for something that has been going on for 13 years, you know, the down tooling, play when you want to, you know, these sort of things, blaming the manager for that. And again, manager out, get him out. He's not good enough. Tell him to leave and stuff like that. It's a disgrace. Napoli hasn't confirmed it if they want Garnacho. No, it does suit Napoli, though, I'll be honest. Big up, Hisham. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see Hisham. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Relegation is nothing when we attend every games. Absolutely. There you go. You're going to get the money from the actual attendances and season tickets. Are you gutted with Delap? What do you mean gutted? That he might go to Chelsea or that he might go to Man United? Nothing has happened yet. So I'll give you my evaluation after he makes his decision. As long as we can get Cunha and Bruma, I don't mind Delap, even though it is not my first choice. I'm like you, Shah. I'm on your page, mate. Gladiator. Can Cunha be transferred into striker like Kane? Yes, he's very versatile. If you watch his height, I mean, the guy's an absolute baller. Apparently, Walden wanted to sign Delap to bring him to Sporting, so the man sees something in him. There you go. If Ruben Delap sees something in Liam Delap, if Ruben Amorim sees something in Liam Delap, support it. Let's see what can happen. Who knows what can happen? He might turn into a world-class striker. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know. Randy, I like Delap in the games I saw him. Me too. Energy, skillful. You need proper play like attacking midfielder. Amram. Big up, GK. Do you think we will sign any player from Sporting? If we don't sign Gutierrez, the only one I could see us going for is Inaxio, the defender. Joshua Xerxes leave the football club. Why? You don't like Joshua Xerxes? Ephraim, I think we'd get Inaxio. So Norridin is a real one, pure passionate. Also, gents, Norridin's not a real one, mate. He's not, absolutely not a real one, Daniel. He's not a real one, bro. Trust me on that one in the industry. He's not a real one. They're backstabbers, mate. Sal, remember Orstein has said Ugarte deal was off, but we ended up getting him. So Gutierrez deal ain't off. It ain't off yet. Until we sign some dotted line, here we go. We can't say anything about Delap, about Gutierrez, about Cunha, about Mbeumo. Cunha's here we go, about Mbeumo. So any of those players, we can only speculate at the moment. But the one thing is for certain, we're in concrete talks with these players. And there is wheels on this. There is wheels on this. Hey, long time no see, mate. Hey, Chico, what's going on? Long time no see. Chico Bands, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good, my friend. Good to see you back. My guy, good to see you. Sal, you think youth would help us? Help us? No, yeah, I do. I think youth will help us. Yeah, I think they will help us. I think we've got some good young players as well coming through the system. Obviously Musa, obviously Montato, you know, obviously added to the fact that we got Collier, Ahmed's still young, you know, these players, Mainu's still young, you know, we got Ghana, you know, Aiden Heaven is still young, you know, and yeah, we've also got along Kolungi, you know, we got some good young players. We need to give them a chance as well. Would you take Rodrigo for these in the summer? Biko, what's going on, my friend? It's the price, Biko. The price is a lot. The price is a lot. I'd rather go for someone cheaper because I don't think he's really set the world alight at Real Madrid. If I'm being real, I'm just being real, guys. Don't shoot the messenger. Big up, Biko. Hope you're doing well. Friday's best example of striker coming from lower league football. Exactly. Amram's system at its core works well with the creative playmaking and set midfield pressing attacking and dumb 10 to my fullback. Absolutely. Daniel, why do you think we'll succeed? Daniel, your spelling, mate. I don't know whether it's spell check or something, mate. I don't see next year. I think. Why do you think we will see next year? I think you said there. I have a feeling, Daniel. I have a feeling. I just have a feeling. And Daniel, you can clip this. You can do what you like. I just have this feeling. But we have to stick by the manager. Joao Parra and Borja Sainz as strikers. Good options, GK. We're not in for him at the moment, though. Sal, What if Amram wanted to bring in Delap at Sporting last year and to learn under Gutierrez, knowing they will leave in a year time? Yeah. We don't know how good this player is going to be. V33, other than Delap, Osman and Gutierrez, Goretzka, a side who can realistically get in season striker in the mold of RVP coming in. Wham, bam. Thank you, sir. Who? Big up, V33. What striker? Get a season striker. There's many. There are many season strikers out there. In regards to strikers, I like Ratigi. I think he's a good one. I think people are sleeping on Ratigi a little bit. I think we need to look at that Atlanta player there. I think he's a very good player. You know, there are many players across Europe that are scoring a lot of goals, you know, and we have to look at that. And look in South America as well. You know, there are players there that, you know, you can pick up for bargains and stuff. I would do that. I would scout South America, of course. If the player that I think is the player that is the best striker in England at the moment, and this is my opinion, guys, right? The best striker in England at the moment is Isaac, for me. I think he's the most complete striker in the Premier League at the moment. Obviously, you could say Haaland, but I honestly think that Isaac is the most complete. But Man United are not going to get him, of course. Thank you so much, V33. Big up, you legend. Hope you're doing well. Everton is going to win the German league with... wouldn't that be funny, Randy? Randy, what are you going to say after that? Randy, we're going to say, we told you so, didn't we, Rand? I believe we need 2 strikers to back up. I agree with that. Ephraim, is it good to start Cunha as a striker when you can hold more than that? No, we play him as a number 10, mate. Number 10. Play him in his right position. Absolutely. Play him in his right position. Let me have a look at that. Other than Delap, Osman, and Gutierrez aside, who can we realistically get? Oh, yeah. As I said, I would like Ratigi. I would like Isaac, but we're not going to get Isaac. I wouldn't mind Ollie Watkins in there. I think he would do a good job at Man United. Maybe get Harry Kane for 1 year. Get Ibrahimovic out of retirement. Let's do that and get him for a couple of years. Get him for a year. Just joking. Stephanie, question. So, if Amram is only coach and not a manager, can we blame him if his transfer signings don't work out? It looks like Wilcox... yeah. Stephanie, you're absolutely spot on. And this is something that many people forget, especially on other channels. They forget this, that Wilcox, Brailsford, obviously, are basically Barada, Vivel are doing the transfer dealings, just like they did in the summer when they got, Dorgu. They already agreed a fee with Dorgu and agreed a deal with Dorgu in the summer. Right? And that was not a Ruben Amram signing. Obviously, Ruben Amram wasn't there. So they are going to be doing the deals. All Ruben Amram is going to do, they're going to give Ruben Amram's opinion. But Ruben Amram's opinion won't be the absolute gospel. It will be like, part of an adjudicator of people. So his opinion will be one, okay. But what about the others? And that's what it's going to be, So basically, he's a head coach, isn't he? Deba says, we still have a chance, although 2% to get Gutierrez if Arsenal goes in Sesko and Liverpool goes for Isaac. Barca doesn't go Gutierrez to place Lewandowski. Yeah, we're in a bit of a muddle. We should have won that Europa League, of course. Guys, I just want to talk briefly. Man United are interested in Eze, by the way. Eze, the only problem with Eze is that his transfer fee will be 60 million upwards, of course. Eze is a very talented player, Premier League proven. Obviously, Crystal Palace are in Europe at the moment, so it could be difficult to strike that deal because we're not in Europe. I would much rather someone else other than Eze. I do think Eze is a very good player, but I would much rather Acuna and Bremo myself. That is my personal opinion. But Eze is on the Manchester United radar, and Manchester United are looking at Eze as an option if other signings don't go through. So Eze has captured the interest of Manchester United. Manchester United are interested in Eze, especially the fact that he's British. Obviously that helps with FFP and PSR. So Manchester United are interested in Eze, but Eze is deemed a backup option for the likes of Bremo, of course, guys. And even Mastantuano, Man United are interested in. Agree with that, Kevin. Speak of the devil. Big up, Kevin. Big up. It's a shame we gave Ronaldo a chance to Garnacho. Yeah, we jumped the gun with that one, didn't we? Maybe we put a little bit of ego, Masala, onto that. We gave him a little bit of an ego, absolutely. Achichi, yeah, Amigan turned Dalap, Dylan to the Beast, turned to Gres, and turned to Maguire and Ahmad too, including Casemiro. Amram would do positive justice on Dalap. Absolutely. And he tried his best with Garnacho, by the way. This is another thing why Garnacho shouldn't have spoke up, because he tried his best with Garnacho. He played Garnacho in that number 10 position. And Garnacho's going behind his back, talking that trash, you know? Wilcox and Delap having a dinner meeting at a restaurant in Manchester to talk. Yeah, could be. Could be. Big up, Shah. Do you take Patrick Schick? Patrick Schick is a good player, highly underrated FM, seasoned, like him. Yeah, I would take him. Highland ghosted most of the FA Cup finals. Yeah, big game player. He's not a big game player. Jason Ten Hag. Gabriel Bianchieri as a backup striker. Yeah, he should get his debut this season, GK. Cunha, Greenwood, and Bremo. No with Greenwood, mate. Greenwood ain't back at Man United. Greenwood is not going to come back to Man United, mate. Regardless of what you think about Greenwood, he's not going to come to Man United. If you had an option between Ratigi and Delat, which one would you go for and why? Ratigi, because he's older, more experienced, and more scored more goals and played in Europe. And an absolute baller. Absolute baller. I would, but it's a completely different players, though. Big up, Stephen. Thank you, Shah. Big up yourself. Can't handle pressure. Yeah. Priorities are now playmaker. Big up, big up, big up. Great show, everyone. Big up, Stephanie. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. It's best to get in Bremo instead of Eze. Amram said it before, the right 10 having a left-footed player's ball. And I agree with that, Shah. I do agree with that one. But Eze is a backup option anyway, guys. He is a backup option. So let's remember that. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I am back later on for Chatterbox. Don't forget to keep your notifications on, guys. And please don't forget to join me for Chatterbox. Chatterbox matters as well. You know what I mean? So please don't forget to join me for Chatterbox. Have a great day, guys. I will see you later on, of course. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Really appreciate every single one of you. You're legends. Absolute best community in football, of course. Mr. Sal, need a goalkeeper. Yes, we do, Chichi. Let's wait and see. Watch your space. Still early days, guys. It's still early days in the window, of course. Absolutely. Still early days in the window. Have a great day, everyone. News is coming thick and fast, so don't forget to join me for Chatterbox when we break it down. Have a good day. Take it easy. Peace.